Going on, guys? If you are joining in after the fact of the live, welcome aboard. A few technical difficulties, which is probably par for the course for Shorty. So just bear with me. Microphone just wasn't quite connecting how we would like, but we're underway. So yeah, I'll just post this on a few of Facebook pages, get the word out, and then we'll jump right in to taking your questions because there's a bit to think about. There is a bit to think about, isn't there? So I'm going to delete that because that video is not necessary. Delete. Where are you? There you go. Delete forever. Just give me one moment, guys. I won't be too far off, but yes, we definitely know that technology is not Shorty's strong suit. I plugged this in. I was running a little bit late to start with, and I thought, Jesus, I hope this. I'll just log on and get stuck into it. Forgot to select the right microphone. I was sounding like I was filming out of a potato again. So restart the computer. It's still not there. What's going on? So cord wasn't plugged in properly. So there you go. Chuck this over onto serious SuperCoaches, and we'll be rocking and rolling. We will be rocking and rolling in 1 minute. There's a lot going on, a lot to think about. I'm still not sure if I am confident with which way I'm going with my trades. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable. I feel like I'm just going to regret it. I don't know. All right. Sweet. Well, there you go. All the formalities is done and dusted, and we are ready to rock and roll. The questions are firing through. Holy shit. Scroll up, Shorty. Scroll up. What's going on, guys? Thanks for jumping on board. I should be coming through loud and clear there. Certainly sounding pretty good through the old earphones. But yeah, I'll just stretch things up and we'll get stuck into it because there's a lot to think about. Like I said, things are starting to move. The prices are changing after this week. So let's not mess around. We need to nail some trades, even get a bit funky with the trade boost, hey? What is going on? G'day, mate. Global Sports Card Investor. How are you? I'm good, mate. What's going on? Yeah, Virtual, he's back. Yeah, it's nothing like a few technical difficulties to start off your Wednesday night. Hey, Jackson, how are you, mate? Yes, I'm good. I'm going all right, thanks. Just a bit of TAFE today, bit of a gym sesh. Was watching Moon Knight with my housemates. So, yeah, it was a good little sesh. And now we're into some Supercoach chat, so it should be good. Griffin, how are you, mate? I'm well, thank you. Thank you very much. Evan, what's happening, mate? Good to see you. Georgios, say, Shorty, what you think of these trades. Gawn, Whitfield, Saligo for Witts, Cherry, and Hall. Yes, very popular trades, I think, mate, and I like them. Honestly, I think we might cover off on some very similar thoughts throughout the whole video. I think Gawn and Whitfield leaving most people's teams is going to be very popular, going to be pretty popular at Shorty Supercoach as well. And getting the likes of Cherry, I'm sure we'll talk some Luke Jackson. Aaron Hall's looking great. The only question we ever had really was about his body, wasn't it, mate? But he got up for round one and he's scoring like a machine, as he always does. Jackson, thoughts on Ben Keys? Low break even, only 1% of teams. Seems like an elite pod. Honestly, mate, he's not one that I've had a bit on my plate this week in terms of Supercoach. I haven't given him much thought. Let me just have a look. 128 and 149. So he's flying. Look, if that is the least of your concerns at the moment, that is great. Because look, he could be a handy point of difference at this rate. I don't know if I have huge confidence in him being sort of 110 plus for the whole year, but he certainly started well. He's definitely started well. So it's hard to argue with that. Tim, how are you, mate? Audio sounding good now, surely. Thank you, mate. I love a bit of confirmation because I do just get a bit worried sometimes. Yeah, it's as simple as just clicking which microphone you want to use. And I went to click it and I was like, where's the Yeti? There is no Yeti. I don't want to be sounding like trash in one of the biggest Q&As of the whole year. So, yeah, thank you, mate. Harry, g'day, mate. What's going on? How are you? Thanks for jumping on board. Kirker, hey, Shorty, how we doing? I'm good, mate. How are you? Great to have footy back. I'm growing grey hairs on what trades to do. You and me both, mate. I was tossing and turning. The 3 trades I wanted to do, I wanted to go Gawn to English, Whitfield to Hewitt, and then I wanted to go Durden up to Heaney, and I felt like 28k short, which really stings. So, me too, mate. I think I need to run myself a bath. Oh, jeez. I told you guys to just cool your jets the other week. I need a bit of my own medicine. My jets are not cool. I'm in an absolute tiz. Aaron, how are you? Shorty, what do you think of trading Whitfield for Hewitt, Baldwin for Nick Martin, and I can afford Cripps, but I don't think he's going to maintain his scoring as Carlton start losing and the season goes on. Look, I like those couple of trades. Honestly, I think Cripps is back, to be honest, Aaron. I think he may not continue this rapid scoring that he's doing at the moment, but I think in terms of him being a top 10 mid, I reckon he is back in business. He looks fit and firing, and we know a fit and firing healthy Cripps is minimum 108, 109, and at the moment, he'd be leading the Brownlow. I know it's only a couple of rounds. I don't see Carlton dropping off too much. I reckon they're running hot, but I still think they're going to be a top 8 team, even when they do plateau at some stage. So I would encourage getting him. He's great to watch, but maybe he's not your cup of tea. Virtual, what score do you reckon Bowie going to drop this week? Look, I haven't been too interested in picking him up. If you're looking for a bit of smash and grab job, just get in there, get some cash on the way down, get some quick cash on the way up. You'll get 2 price rises off the 150. That'll be massive. But I still think his scoring will fluctuate quite a bit. I don't see him sort of going that high too often. What's up, Jack? What's going on? Not much, man. I was Jonah. I'll kill you.
That was Jonah, not me.
Clowns. Come on, Jay. They're funny fellas. Look, I see Bowie as like a genuine, just quick cash job. I don't really see him as anyone that will kind of keep for all too long, but that might be all we need. I think his average will probably be in the 70s, maybe early 80s by the end of the year. Evan, you're going to sound like a broken record tonight, that's for sure. Yes, I may well. But hey, not everyone tunes into the whole thing, so I'm happy to take, I'm sure I will. I'll probably mention a few of the things over and over, but that's all right. Global Sports Card Investor, I've got you in the A-Team League this week. Nice. Yeah, I'm looking forward to leagues starting. I think over the journey, I probably haven't paid as much attention to leagues, but I'm looking at trying to do a little bit more of that. Not necessarily, crazy video content, but just keep a bit of a closer eye on them. Matthew Robinson, I've traded Whitfield for Bowie. Is it Bowie or Bowie? I don't even know. I think it's Bowie. I don't know. And McGovern up to Heaney. Please tell me this is good. I definitely like getting Heaney in. That train is leaving the station super quick. That's part of the reason why I want to get on board, because I just think if you don't get on the Heaney bandwagon this week, then he may never hit this price again for the rest of the year. And he looks like he's the real deal at the moment. And Papley's only getting closer to a return. So I feel like that's only going to help. Like I just said, I'm not as enthused about Bowie. But if it's going to get you cash, Whitfield's really struggling. So I definitely get it from that point of view. So I just think eventually you'll trade him out again, but he'll probably hit 400k, and you'll have some options to maybe bring in a Lloyd or a Stewart, something like that. So Jackson, thoughts on this trade, Shorty? Gawn, Steele, Sin for Jackson, Hewitt, Brayshaw, banking 220k. I like 2 out of 3. I love the Brayshaw option. And I know they all roll into one. Like you sort of need to do all 3 to do. You can't just pick and choose. But my message is to keep Jack Steele. Look, the bloke turned up. He scored 111 last week. Like he's not going badly. He's not at his best, but he'll be okay. So the only thing that I would say is you are trading out one of the top 5 premiums, I think, in the game. So can you get him back quickly? When do you hope to get him back? But you've got 220k in the bank, so you might be planning a quick re-entry to the Jack Steele train at some stage. Aaron, Shorty, mate, just admit Saints should have beat Geelong in the 09 Granny. Saints fan, I'm guessing. Saints fan. No, we had this conversation about the olden days the other day. Look, it's in the history books, and boy, I'm glad it is. Yeah, look, you guys were the best team all year. You really were. We were the best team in 08. So, look, as a Cats fan, I felt like we kind of pinched one back that we sort of deserved. But, gee, I was cheering for you guys like no one's business in 2010, wasn't it, against the Pies? So, yeah. Yeah. Hey, Shorty, this is my team. And I reckon it got where's your team? Look, if you want to post it again, because I'm guessing it got drowned in comments, but I can't even see it anywhere near it. So hopefully I get to your side soon enough. Caden, what do you think of Whitfield, Berry, and Saligo out to Bowie, Cripps, and Stevens coming in? Yeah, look, I think that's a really good option. I mean, Bowie's going to make you some real quick cash. I think the downgrade option is either him or Hewitt. And a lot of you guys might have Hewitt already. So I definitely understand that. Stevens is going great. Cripps going great. So I like it. Carl, still waiting on the Suntory to bring out the limited edition Sun Shorty 198. That's good, mate. That's good. We should do a little bit of bit of visual work and put Shorty's mug onto the can, and then we could be away in honour of the great man and commemoration of Lockie Neal's double ton sauciness. Rank amateurs, that mob. Yes, I love all of that, mate. Love the drink, love the Lockie double ton. It was a beautiful week. So, where is that sponsorship? Come on, I gave him a massive plug. Where's it coming from? Jeez, Kirker, this is like the hardest trading week for me ever. Yeah, I'm still going to sort of ponder my trades even tonight. So it's tough. I feel like a trade boost helps, but I wish I could boost it again. I almost need 4. Cody, what do you think about Whitfield, Gawn, and Ward to Hall, Neal, and Brodie? I really like that, to be honest. I still have a fair bit of faith that Ward's going to make us some good coin. He played really well without scoring well on the weekend. But you need Neal. You need Brodie. I know people sort of talking about his low time on ground, but Fife's out for like 6 weeks now. So I can see him making some serious coin and Hall premium as well. So, no, you've done well there. Global Sports Card Investor, Danielson, you'll be calling me Mr. Miyagi, your sensei, by the end of the round. Yeah, let me know how you go, mate. Well, I might be letting you know how you went, actually, because I'll be watching that one close. But I'm sure we'll talk next week. Let's see who takes the upper hand. Week 1. Jimmy West, Gawn, Berry, Whitfield to Cherry. Dual position, Hayes, R2, Petrarca, and Short. Absolutely love all the guys you're bringing in. The only thing I would say, and I've contemplated the thing as well, having Hayes at R2 concerns me a lot. You got Ryder coming back this week. So not only does that bring into question Hayes' job security, not this week, but maybe if he drops a little bit of form, do they go with all those tools in the next coming weeks? But also it has to be limited ruck time. And I know he scored well in round 1, but how many times is he going to take all those clunks and kick 3? So I've got a little bit of a concern about him being your R2 for at least 4 weeks, because Cherry will get dual position. You'll be able to swing them around, but that'd be my only query. Alex says, Shorty, what's going on, mate? How are you? Thanks for jumping on board. Thanks to everyone who's jumped on board, actually, smashing it out nicely already. So hopefully hopefully, plenty of questions coming through, and hopefully I'll get to them in due course. I know I often get a bit behind, but stay with me. Stay with me. I'll get to your question soon enough, everybody. Mark, Whitfield up to Lloyd, Berry to Cripper, and cutting Gawn for Wits, making me stress saying bye to Big Max. I know I never thought we would be saying goodbye to Max, but the writing's on the wall, I think, and it's not to say we might get Gawn back in a 4 to 8 weeks, whatever it is, but I think we just got to pocket that cash because he's going to drop a lot and just sit back and take a look at how these rucks actually do turn out. I mean, who is the top 2 rucks now? Is Darcy going to become a guy that we look to bring in? Is Gawn going to bounce back? So I think it's a good idea to just check out from the Gawn train and just assess it as we go. I think I'm seriously considering Wits as well. So yeah, it's either him or Luke Jackson probably. Brady, upgrade Whitfield to Hall or downgrade to Bowie? I would upgrade to Hall if you can. I just think if you can preference the premium, I would do that. The only reason I would go your other option is if you desperately need a coin some other way to benefit your team. James, thoughts on Hall? Yeah, he's going great, mate. Honestly, the only thing with Hall is, can he get through a full season? That's the only thing. The jury would be out, but there's no question mark on his scoring. So he's looking great. Anthony, Maxi King wins the Coleman this year. You heard it here first. Look, he's on fire. And in my season predictions, I had Jeremy Cameron for the Coleman, but I also had just keep your eye on Max King. So he's looking bloody good. And when he's hot, he's fantastic to watch. Just big clunks up forward. It's great to see. Travis, how you going, mate? Scored 2,451. Placed just outside the top 1,000. Nice. McRae's double score. Wish I'd taken Neil, who I had as captain until Friday night. Think of trading Bailey to Heaney and Hill to Bowie. Yeah, look, I think, obviously it would have been great to have Neil's double ton, but you get a 142 VC, you always got to take it. And it might have not worked out for you great this week in hindsight, but over the journey, it's the right call every time. And no, I think that's good. I think getting Heaney in is a good call. I'm thinking the same. I feel like I love watching him, and I've been his biggest fan. I've got a lot wrong over the journey, but Heaney, I preached him all pre-season, and just structure-wise, I just didn't fit him in. So it might be time. I might just have to find a way to bring him in. Josh Baird, Max Gawn to Lloyd Meek if Sean Darcy doesn't get named to free up cash for Cripps. Honestly, I thought about that too. The only thing I would say is they expect Darcy to play, which means if it's not this week, it'll be next. So I don't feel as optimistic about that. I'm not sure how much coin you have to free up, but I'd probably be looking at Wits, Jackson, Draper could be thrown in the conversation. Meets Gawn and Jackson this week, not ideal. And if you got a bit more coin, I think English, is also a good option, but it feels like you need to free up a bit of coin. So I don't know if I've got stacks of faith in Meek when he shares the ruck. If Darcy was out for like a month, I'd be all over that as well. Jono, Shorty, what you think of Whitfield, Steele and Berry to Neil, Cripps and Hewitt? I think you got to get Neil in. But look, honestly, I think Steele is a hold for me. He's a hold for me. I think sell Whitfield, sell Berry, but Steele is a hold. I know that might throw out your plans, but I'm sure I'll say it time and time again. I think you hold him unless you think you can get him back within 3 or 4 weeks. But it is aggressive, but we do have more trades to potentially be aggressive. Kahu Supercoach. My trades were Whitfield to Hall, Gawn to Wits, and Baldwin to Heaney. And I like that. Honestly, that is very similar to what I will do, just probably going down from Whitfield as opposed to up. But I think Wits, I tossed and turned. I think Wits is the more reliable option compared to Luke Jackson. I know Jackson is sort of the flavour of the week and he's running hot, but there will be times where Gawn does still, he is the one that sort of whacks out a 120, 130 and Jackson just doesn't get the ruck minutes and he just scores a 65. I feel like Witts is the safer option, doesn't have dual position. So, yeah, a lot to think about. Travis leaves me with 160k in the bank. Nice. I think it's good, to have a bit of coin in the bank. Obviously, it's just how it pans out sometimes, but it's not a bad thing to have when you're looking to upgrade over the next month. So it's handy. And Derek's back over from Thailand. How are you, mate? Hi, Shorty. It's trade boost for me. Yeah, I reckon. Cripps, Heaney, Bowie in for me. Going hard early, but it's the risk. It's worth the risk. Cheers, Derek. I agree, mate. It's time to smash that trade boost button and get the 3 trades and go bang. It's a good initiative, the trade boost. I would also have the price freeze. That's a rule I'd like to see, where you could freeze a player's price for a week. I don't know if that would be too confusing for SuperCoach to do. But say, for example, if you could, I want to get Heaney, but I can't fit him in this week because of a trade issue or a price issue or whatever, just trade price freeze Heaney. And for your team, his price doesn't move this week. And you can still, sort of like put him on lay-by. All right, I like the price. I just can't afford it just yet. Again, I just like anything we can have a bit more control with as a super coach, I like. So be interesting if you're listening out there, Herald Sun. Sean Nugent, ranked 12,000 odd, worth trading Gawn for Witts and Ward. Not happy about losing Ward to Cripps. Seems the easiest option to get Cripps. Yeah, I'm same, mate. I think I'd like to keep Ward as well. I mean, I will, but for you, I would like you to keep him. But if the decision is keep Ward or get Cripps before he goes bonkers in price, then let's get Cripps. So, and like I said before, I think I'll be going Gawn to Witts as well. So I like your thinking there. And thanks for everyone jumping on board. We're just working our way through the 70s here. Good stuff. We haven't hit the ton yet. We haven't hit the ton this year just yet. So let's see how we go. But thanks for everyone who's jumped on board. Give us a little thumbs up and throw your questions my way. It's great to have you on board. Harry, I'm thinking of 2 trade options and don't know if either are good. Option 1, Whitfield, Gibcus, Ward for Cripps, NOD and Bowie. Option 2, that's Nico Driscoll, is it? I'm thinking, am I going crazy? Option 2, Gawn, Ward for Cripps and Witts. I probably like the second one, to be honest. It's a bit simpler. I don't feel like Gibcus needs to go unless you know something I don't. And I guess in that scenario, you sort of back in Whitfield. I mean, in that second option, is there a way you could ditch Whitfield for, how much coin do you have left over? Could you go up to Short or Stewart or, something like that? But no, I'd probably lean towards the second one there, mate. Kahu Supercoach, you should get Witts instead of English so you can get Heaney. Thank you, mate. I would love your opinions on that. I appreciate your thought there. And I think you're right. I think English is going to be a great option, and I was really looking forward to swinging him forward at some point. But yeah, if the question is, do I sacrifice not getting Heaney for someone? I think you got to prioritize getting in young Isaac because he's been my boy. I don't want to see him go bonkers all year and not be on board. That would just kill me every week. Thanks, mate. Epiphany, thoughts on Port? My thoughts on Port, hey? I had them sliding in my initial ladder prediction. And, I was shocked they lost last week. I think they'll respond. I think they'll win this week. I think they'll be in and around that top 6, but probably not a top 4 team anymore. So I think they clearly need to get some of their big gun players back, which isn't happening anytime soon for Alir. But yeah, they just look a little bit dysfunctional across the board, so I think they'll be okay. They're not falling off a cliff, but there's just something amiss at the moment, and it's going to take a couple of weeks to just reassess and settle down and find their best footy because it has not been a good start to the year. Nick, how you going, mate? He says, love your work, mate. Honest thoughts on Ward. Will he improve? Thanks, mate. I love your work too. Thanks for joining in. It's great to see you. He will. Look, he didn't score well, but he had 20 touches, I think, kicked a goal. That's great for job security. And the main thing, we want our guys playing good footy so they stay in the team. All right, he didn't use the ball well. I think he went at 40% or something. So he'll be okay. Thought about swapping him for Cherry, but not confident on his output going forward. Does he get dual position? Cherry will 100% get dual position. He's mainly rucking, so he'll be a ruck forward after round 6. I would say Ward will get better, but if it's a matter of Cherry or Ward, I'll probably go Cherry. I think we got to be aggressive with the guys that we know are going to score well. And Cherry's got the runs on the board. He started well. I think Ward will improve and we'll get there. But at the moment, I'd probably prefer you to go aggressive style and really go after those guys that are making us quick money. And he will get dual position, yeah. Deckdy, hey Shorty, got 60k left over and haven't got Hinge. Is it worth using a trade boost to go Sam DeConning to Hinge, or should I just hold the trade? Could also go Chapman down to Hinge and just bank the cash. Sorry, guys, the old cough's just hanging around with me, isn't it? But what did Heath Chapman do? I'm probably leaning towards. I'd imagine he got a few points for that nice little cameo with a little effective kick and link up towards 56 in round 2. Look, mate, I would go Chapman down to Hinge. I think Sam DeConning's going to be okay. He's going to make his money. He should be back this week. So you got to spend money for a cash cow. I kind of like the option of Chapman, gaining cash on the way down, and you'll get the benefits of Hinge and eventually DeConning. So I think that's the good way to go. Mark, Gawn or Steele out, Cripper or Heaney in. Pick one to go out and one to come in. Well, I would say Gawn, and I would say definitely Gawn, and probably Cripps. I think. Yeah, tough one. Look, I think both Cripps and Heaney are great options, but I'd definitely hold on to Steele, and I think turfing Gawn is okay. Alex says outs Ridley, Hoff, McGovern, Inns, Bowie, Cripps, and Cherry. He's ditching Ridley, hey? Honestly, I give us your thoughts. If you're still listening, Alex, let me know why you're ditching him. He wasn't super impressive, even though he turned up. I watched a lot of the game. I didn't think it was super impressive. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Obviously, you're sharing some frustrations too. Griffin Hal, what was your thoughts on Moon Knight? I thought it was pretty good. Next few episodes will be interesting. Yeah, I quite liked it. So I think my mate who's right into it, he loved it. I thought particularly the last 10 or 15 minutes was really good. Like that first little bit, I was like, what the hell's going on here? It's sort of, you sort of knew what was going on, but you were kind of like, what's real, what's not? So, obviously won't say too much in case, people are going to watch it later or over the rest of the week. But no, worth a watch and pretty cool last little segment of the first episode there, I thought, mate. So, yeah, I'll be tuning in next week. And JD, Shorty, thoughts on Nick Blakey? Look, I think he's playing really good footy. Just hasn't quite gone or sort of translated to scores. So week 1 had the 22 touches, scored 98, and last week against the Cats, I thought he was really damaging, but only scored 79 from exactly the same stack count, 18 kicks, 4 handballs. So he had 4 clangers as opposed to 1 in round 1. So he's probably not going well enough to trade him in, to be honest, mate. But I do think he's a really promising young player and should average around the 90, I reckon. Hopefully that helps you make your decision. Oatsy, Shorty, mate, how's it going? I'm well, mate. How are you? Thinking of trading Gawn and Durden from Carlton to Heaney and Cripps. One keeper for 2 is my thoughts and not wasting a trade boost. Yeah, I tend to agree, mate. You're getting rid of Gorn, who's going to plummet in price, and you're bringing in two blokes you'll keep all year, if they don't get injured. So, no, I like it. I reckon that's a good call. Dwayne, thoughts on Tim English? I'm really optimistic on Timmy boy. Read a few comments this week. I think from Bevo saying that they really value what he does around the stoppage. And again, they're struggling, the Dogs. They're looking poor up forward, but they are resisting the temptation to bring in a Steph Martin or anything like that. So I think English is their main guy, and I see him averaging high 90s, maybe touching that 100 mark. So he seems to be finally come of age, I think. So if the money allowed me, I'd be bringing him in. But at the moment, it might be tricky for old Shorty Supercoach. Jack Donahue says Luke Jackson or Jared Witts, and this is a $64,000 question. This is what's been replaying in my head all day, trying to concentrate at TAFE. I'm thinking Luke Jackson or Jared Witts. Which one do I do? Ridiculous, isn't it? But to answer your question, I lean towards Jared Witts. I just think he's safer. We shouldn't write Gorn off completely. He's still going to have games where he dominates over the next month. He's going to have days where he does more of the ruck work and Jackson gets a little cold in the forward line. And we're going to see days like last week where Jackson's the main man, gets 7 clearances, looks like the next superstar that we know he's going to be. I think Jared Witts, meanwhile, he's going to do a power of the ruck work. He's a hit-out king. And I looked at their run, and you can have a look at their run if you like, but I'm pretty sure nothing too crazy in terms of matchups in the ruck department. So for Gold Coast, so I'd be going Wits. The only bugger is no dual position, which can be handy. Caden, upgrade Whitfield or downgrade him? Probably depends what your options are, mate. I would say if you don't have Hewitt, it's a downgrade to him. If you do have Hewitt, I'd say it's an upgrade to could be Short, could be Hall, could be Stewart. I think Stewart and Lloyd are going to drop a touch over the next few weeks, but they're going to be real reliable guys for us to get a hold of soon. Corey, how's it going, mate? He says, what do you think of Whitfield to Hall or Sinclair as a pod playing midfield time? Baldwin to Bowie and Gorn to English. I'd definitely go to Hall. I think Sinclair is, a handy point of difference. He's in a couple of my draft teams. He'll probably play more so halfback at times, but is getting a little bit of midfield time. But I would prefer you to go the tried and true Aaron Hall. And like I said, I think going to English I really like. And clearly, I probably wouldn't rush doing Baldwin to Bowie, like sort of upgrading to Bowie. I probably wouldn't do. But, I get your point. You're trying to make some cash. So, yeah. That is an absurd name, man. You know who you are out there. Jesus, I'm not going to read the name, but I will read your question. Bowie may not score high when Salem Tomlinson leave it back. He's looking like he put on 5 kilos of muscle on his skinny frame. Yeah, that's true. And look, I heard throughout the week that he didn't necessarily play much of a different role compared to round one. It just came his way with a few more handball receives and that. So I think you trade him in with the mindset of he's going to make us quick coin. He's not necessarily a reliable scoring option. If he is, that's awesome. If he surprises me, that'd be great for all Bowie owners out there. But I'd say he's more of a fly in, fly out, get your cash in 4 or 5 weeks and move on. Carl, could you condone Berry and Tom Mitchell to Hewitt and Cripps, Shorty? Mitchell seems an obvious trade, but Berry hasn't really done a lot wrong. Do the Blues keep up the red hot pace they've set? Tommy Mitchell struggling, is he? I must have not seen that one. I definitely agree on the Berry front. Wow, 80 and 82. Jesus. What's he doing? He's just not winning much of the ball. 28 and 29. Tackles are solid. Wow, that's interesting. A few clangers in there. Wow. Okay, that could be a guy. Yeah, could be a guy that we look at later in the year as an upgrade. But yeah, look, I'd say I think you could be onto something there, mate. I do think the Carlton bandwagon might not run as hot as it has over the first 2 weeks, but I think they're the real deal. I think they're going to be a really good side. And that midfield is just gelling perfectly. So jump on board, mate, I reckon. Jump on board. I will be. Timbo, Heaney, or Aaron Hall? I'd probably go Heaney, to be honest, just because he's at a price that you're just not going to see him again. I feel like Hall will be in and around that price for a lot of the year, where Heaney, that price, the way he's going, he's going to explode. So I feel like you're going to miss that price, where Hall, you're probably going to have access to that price again. Here's our mate again, but at least we know Bowie is capable of these massive scores. Yeah, and that's true. That's a very good point. Big ceiling. Never thought he'd have it in him, to be honest. D-Mac, who would you pick out of Wanganeen Malira and Skinner? Price not a factor. Need to go early to get Cripps. Without seeing the teams, obviously, I'd probably lean towards Skinner, to be honest. I just feel like better job security with Alir out. I know he didn't set the world on fire with scoring, but I'd just lean towards him. A bit more mature, genuine spot there for him with the long-term injury of Alir. Kirker, what's worse? No Cripps? Oh, mate. You're dangerous. You're dangerous out there, boys. Hibbert MIA too, he says. Yes, that's a very good point. A few rebounders missing at the D's. Footy galore. Sorry, Shorty, I can't chat today at Shane Warne Memorial. No, that's fair enough. I actually didn't realise it was on Wednesday, so I was watching a bit of the coverage beforehand. So, no, good on you, mate. It's it'll be a emotional and special moment there at the G. So, no, good on you for paying your respects to the legend. I'll definitely be watching a bit of a wrap up of how that all went. Harry, or trade. So what was that in relation to? Oh, it must have been an earlier question. Or trade Hoff to NOD and open up dual position and go Whitfield to Cripps and roll with the 3 rookie defenders just for the 1 week. Get to keep Gawn, Ward, Steele for another week. Leaves me with 60k. Yeah, don't mind it, mate. I wouldn't be too inclined to keep Gawn for 1 more week if that's what you sort of mean. If it's just for 1 week, then you probably want to pull the trigger on him this week. I think just with where Gawn is at the moment, and his price is going to plummet, I think you either got to make the call. You're either getting rid of him this week, or you're sticking with him for the whole year. I think that's sort of where it's at. So hopefully I interpreted that the right way, but hopefully that helps you. Mr. Monkman, Cooper Greg, Josh Bootsma, Liam Jarrah. Fuck, marry, kill. Big fan, Shorty. Oh, mate, that's some funny stuff. I didn't expect that, but look, that's why we encourage the banter. Look, I'll answer it because I'll try and answer all these questions. Look, I'm gonna kill Liam Jarrah just because I think, if I'm correct in saying, I think he did a few not so nice things. Got himself in a bit of trouble with the law from memory. I don't know if it was alleged or not, but maybe of those 3 guys, not the greatest person. And look, I'm going to give Josh Bootsman a bit of a run in the bedroom, just sort of just give him a bit of a great night and have a bit of romance with Josh. And look, let's just shack up with Cooper. He's set for life as an influencer on his Facebook page. And I'll just be a stay-at-home hubby, just he can bring in the cash and we'll be set for life. Obviously, if we say those comments tongue-in-cheek, please no one take me to court over any of those comments. But I appreciate the left field question. Griffin Hell, if you watched the AFL 360, Damien Hardwick said they put a tag on Whitfield to limit him setting up the gameplay for GWS. So I would give Whitfield 1 more week, or I'm putting him to Hall. Yeah, I did see that. And look, I don't know. I mean, he didn't score well round 1 either. And it's tough because what's his break even? It'd probably be 130, 140, I'm just guessing. It's always hard to guess those, but what is it? Break even 151. Okay, so he's losing a bit. Yeah, he honestly he might bounce back. He really might. And I'm a big fan of him, but just the way Hewitt's been going, I just want to make an aggressive call. There's so much to like down in the back line. I don't feel obliged to be patient with Whitfield, but yeah, you're right. If it was just a poor round two score, then yeah, but just didn't quite do it in round one either. Bowie is talk of rising star. Lesson with Bowie is that he scored 20 points first round, so don't trade out players after round one. Yeah, it's very true. Very true. I was preaching that as well. Give him 2 weeks. Always give him 2 weeks. Lockie, surely I've decided to hold off on trading Gaunt for the first time in years. You reckon there actually is cause for concern with Gaunt sharing the ruck with Jackson? Love the channel, by the way. Thank you, mate. Appreciate the question. Cause for concern, probably not concern, but just in terms of a strategy point of view, it just kind of makes sense. I think I might get Gorn back in 5 weeks, but I think we can safely say at the moment it's kind of unknown how much Jackson is going to affect Gorn. The first 2 weeks has shown us that he's definitely going to affect his scoring, and we know that Gorn is going to drop significantly in price. So I'm happy to jump off Gorn at the moment, full in the knowledge that I might jump back on in a month, 6 weeks. But I'm happy to just, like, who's the top 2 rucks? Grundy? Then who? Is it Gorn? I don't know. Could be. Is it Darcy? I don't know. Maybe. So let's just sort of wait and see. I'm happy to pocket some cash, use it elsewhere, get someone else who's rising, and then reassess that ruck in a month when we know a little bit more. So, yeah, it's not panic stations. I still think Gorn will average like 105, 110. He could still average 115. But what we've seen so far is just enough for me to reshuffle. Connor Rosie, average of 40. I know, it was terrible. I picked him up in one of my draft leagues and he stunk it up for me. So what's going on there, mate? I know a bit of criticism that he's a bit outside, maybe a little bit soft. So I don't know. He's not going well. Jason, how are you, mate? Evening Shorty, he says, what's going on? How are you? Thanks for jumping on board, mate. OC, Gibkett, Scorn, and Whitfield to Hewitt, Cripps, and Hall. Is it worth the trade boost? I think it is, mate. I think it is. There's nothing wrong with bringing Hewitt, Cripps, and Hall, who are all on fire, out for a few guys who just aren't exactly on fire. Could be good players, but I like the aggressive option, mate. Jade, hey, Shorty, Whitfield and Sicily are absolutely killing my defence. Do I stay true or let go? I'm sort of encouraging letting go of Whitfield, but Sicily's been okay. I know probably not exactly what we thought, but he scored 105 and 84. I didn't see the 84 game, 20 touches, 7 marks. Yeah, he's probably not exactly what we wanted, but I probably would have a bit more faith with Sicily just because he's cheaper. But yes, who's Hall? Aaron Hall, mate, the dasher for North Melbourne. Dave Zarbo, hey, Shorty, hope you're well. Thank you, mate. I hope you're tracking nicely as well. Pros and cons of considering trading Gorn. Best options for ruck if we were to trade Gorn or not. 204 break even. Yeah, I think the pros clearly are that we can pocket a lot of coin, which we can use elsewhere, and you avoid the massive price dip that we know is coming because of the break even that you outline. And the pros are that because we know he's dropping, we can sit back, take a look, maybe pick him up again if we get a bit more confidence in how he's going. The cons would clearly be if we jump off him now and then it's the Gorn of old for the rest of the season. He just comes out and averages 115 from here. That would be frustrating. So, but I think the pros outweigh the cons. So I'm happy to risk that. Jason says Trelaw, Dunkley, McGuinness for Amon, Brayshaw, and Hind. I thought Trelaw played well the other week. Did it not correlate to scoring? He had like 31 touches, didn't he? He scored 111. Yeah, righto. No. Are you trading. Oh, I'm a bit lost here, mate. Look, of the names I'd keep Trelaw, I'd keep Dunkley. I like Brayshaw, and I'm not sure if you've started Amon and Hind. I think you're getting rid of those guys. It must be Angus Brayshaw. I'm not exactly sure who you're trading in and out there, mate, but definitely I'd keep a hold of those doggies. Yeah, anyway, if you wanted to just confirm it, I think maybe just confirm which Brayshaw that was. Yes, Aaron. Oh, yeah. Caden, I'm also thinking of Gawn, Whitfield, and Berry out, Witts, Hall, and Cripps in, which means Saligo will sit on the bench, which I'm not too keen on. Yeah, it's a massive pity, like Mead, Saligo. It's so frustrating when we see guys that we think can make us coin get dropped and then get named as a sub and then come onto the ground and score like 10. It does your head in. But your other trades I really like, mate. So I think that's good. You can probably sideways trade Saligo to someone else in due course, but it is frustrating when that happens. King Ranger, Darcy, Steele, and Whitfield for Hall, Cripps, and Witts. 480k left in the bank. Is that a good trade? Look, I am sort of advising keep Steele. I'd be happy to keep him, but I also advise trying to get Cripps. So I'll leave that one up to you. I think they both should be in your team at some stage in the year. Maybe you think you can get Steele back with that big bankroll that you got sooner rather than later, and I would definitely advise that. The Devastator. Do I trade Whitfield for Hall or Rookie for Brody? Well, that's an interesting question. I'd almost be more inclined to get Brody, to be honest. I think he's going to make some really good coin. Really good coin. So I think getting these cash generating players in now before they move, I'd almost be more inclined to get that. Yeah. James Francis, how are you, mate? Hey, Shorty, hope you're well. Likewise, mate. Thanks for joining in. Hope you're having a good night. Lockie, if he fails to ton against Essendon this week, I think I'll have to give up on Gawn. Well, yeah, I just reckon you got to make the call now, mate, because if he doesn't ton up this week, you're going to do the same thing ditching him, but you're going to get way less coin, way less bang for your buck. So I think you got to make the call now, mate. I think you got to say, look, if I go with Gawn, I'm keeping him till God knows when. And if you're ditching him, you got to ditch him now while he's got some value. I think you'll just cut your profits in half if you do it next week. Dave says, never mind, you answer my question. Yeah, look, I'm hopefully covering off on a few of your guys' thoughts across other people's questions because there is a common thread and we're all thinking pretty similar. Yeah, if not Witts or Jackson, who else? Look, Tim English, if you really wanted to go left field and you don't want those. Sam Draper, I think he's playing good footy, averaging well, really high hopes at the Dons. He does come up against Melbourne this week, which isn't ideal, but I do think he's going to average solid numbers if those other two guys don't take your fancy. Whitfield, is he a good player? Different role for Whitfield, he says. Yeah, look, mate, I would say I read a stat on Twitter that defensive 50 possessions, which we want our defenders to just rack up some cheap footy down back, don't we? Isaac Cumming had 13, Perryman had 8, and Whitfield only had 6. This might have not been for the full game, but I'm not sure when he tweeted it, but I thought that's interesting. Maybe he's not the main guy in the switch with the link up. He took a few kick-ins, but yeah, look, he's a gun, and I'm sure there'll be a stage this year where he plays really good footy. But at the moment, maybe it's time to bite the bullet on Lockie, and maybe we can get him in when he does start to run hot because he started the season like an absolute deadweight. Jimmy West, thoughts on Luke Ryan? Can he be a good primo pod? Yeah, he definitely can, mate. He's probably fluctuates a little bit more than some of our running defenders like Lloyd and Hall, Jaden Short. He probably has a few more scores of 70, but when it's his day, like it was the other day, he has massive amount of marks and scores you 140, 150. So he'll be a little bit more up and down, but I think when it's all said and done, he'll average a touch over or a touch under 100, I reckon. The Devastator is back. Is Steele a must trade? No, absolutely not. The bloke scored 84 and 111. Am I right in saying? He will be a top 5 mid, I reckon. So I don't really have any interest in trading him. So let's just have a look at Jack Steele. He's come out, he scored 87, 111. Not perfect, but it's not disgusting. Last year, Jack Steele started with a 91 and a 123. So this time last year, he had only scored an extra 16 points. And we know what happened last year. It's I don't think it's worth panicking over 16 points. I don't see the need to trade him out unless you have a plan of getting him back in a month or two. So I don't know. I'd keep him. I don't have him, but I would keep him. Brady, cheers, mate. So Whitfield to Hall, Barry to Cripps, and Gawn to Wits. I'm thinking, but hate to get rid of Gawn. Yeah, no worries, mate. No worries. I would do that. Yes, trust me. I've got the same feeling in my gut as well. It feels uneasy to trade Gawn. And Shorty's just stoked that the first time in like 5 years I went set and forget is the one time we got to trade Gawn out. That pissed me right off. But I think for the evidence we have right now, it's the right trade. I think it's the right trade. Look, if worse comes to worse and Gawn's on fire over the next fortnight, Wits makes us a bit of money. Gawn's down to 530, 540. We can maybe bring him back. We got 35 trades, but I think it's the right call at the moment. And our mate with the dodgy name says Jordan Ridley. He also says Tim English, Rowan Marshall. Look, just in short, mate, I think Ridley wasn't great. Still managed to ton up. I reckon you look at that two different ways. Don's have been trash. He hasn't quite found his rhythm. Still managed to find a ton. Or is it just not going to happen for him? I don't know. I'm backing him in for now. English, I think, is here to stay. Rowan Marshall, up and down, was surprised. I wouldn't rush to get him. Ryder coming back in changes it. Marshall is a gun, generally speaking, but there's no need to really involve him. If you've got him, keep the faith. If you don't, no need to get him. But hopefully that sheds a bit of light there. Stewie's Mountain Dew. Shorty is trading Ridley, Owens, and McGovern for Bowie, Cripps, and Rochelle. Worth it. I think you need to get Rochelle in, that's for sure, and I think Cripps too. Ridley, yeah, look, you could. I'd love your thoughts, guys. Do you have more faith in Ridley or Whitfield? Let me know your thoughts. It's something I'm sort of pondering. But yeah, look, I would say overall, I do like that, mate, because you need a couple of the guys that you mentioned. And it obviously works for your team. But yeah, look, Bowie's a bit of a cash in, cash out sort of job. But yeah, his scoring could be hit or miss, I reckon. Cheers for everyone who's jumped on board. We're smashing it. We've had probably best viewership that we've had all year. I was actually thinking, and let me know your thoughts. I was thinking of putting together just a small quiz for you guys. Just trying to do it on whether it's a Kahoot. I don't know how many people can be involved in a Kahoot for the free version, but I was thinking at the end of the Q&A, just doing like a bit of a quiz, just something a bit fun, bit interactive. I don't know if I can think of any prizes, if I did it pre-season, like a league code, but anyway, it could be a bit of fun. If you like the idea of a bit of a SuperCoach / footy quiz for the last like 5 or 10 minutes of each live session, let me know your thoughts. And I can find the right platform and put it together. James, so far this week I've gone from Taranto, Chapman and Owens to Heaney, Bowie and Stevens and holding Gawn and Hayes for now. Does that sound good, or should I be getting in Hall and trading out Gawn? Don't trade out Taranto, mate. Definitely keep him. Yeah, no need to get rid of him. He's fine. He's not the finest score on the weekend, but there's nothing wrong with 88 or whatever it was. I would prefer you to trade Gawn. If you're talking to me, you say, should I trade Gawn or Taranto? It's definitely Gawn. Benny Butcher, hey Shorty, this week I'm going McGovern and Berry to Cripps and Nick Martin. Thoughts? Might also use a boost to go Whitfield to Jordan Dawson. Yeah, look, I quite like that, particularly your first two trades. And, I think there's every argument to get rid of Whitfield. I definitely understand it. I'm still sort of up in the air in terms of which way I go with that one. But at the moment, Dawson looking really solid. Tyler Ratta scored well this week, didn't he? Bet you are spewing you didn't get him. Also, hair's looking good, my man. How long did you style it for? Yeah, look, that's why I was running late, guys. I just spent a solid 12 minutes just doing the hair. Yeah, I couldn't believe not that it really matters, but you caught me out in that live sesh video, mate, just doing the hair before the video. Caught red-handed there, mate. Me and my editing skills. But no, good to have you on board as always. Nick Martin and Hayes not 100-point players. No, mate, they won't be. They'll have their days, but I think when it's all said and done, they'll average somewhere between 70 and 80, which would be fantastic for rookies. Make us a lot of coin. Betsy, thoughts on Caleb Daniel and Cornelio? Got them both. Should I hold? Cornelio, absolutely. Absolutely. He's fine. That price range, he's going to make us some really good coins. So you hold on to him. He'll be great. Caleb Daniel, honestly, I'd trade. I would trade. Look, last year just wasn't his finest. He was up and down. His last 6 or so weeks of last year, he had a 55 in there, a 72. There was a 68 in round 16. And he's sort of, 103 round 1 and 66 last week. I'd trade, to be honest. I love Caleb, but just not happening for him like it was maybe a couple of years ago. Probably better options out there. Caden, thoughts on McGovern and also O'Driscoll? Look, I think you got to trade McGovern. Just the 40 kills you. It wasn't exactly what we're after if you started him. And look, I mean, O'Driscoll just came in as a sub and didn't score too much. So I wouldn't be doing anything crazy with him just yet. I'd just wait and see, to be honest. Wait and see what he does this week. Get a sense of his job security. I wouldn't be considering him this week. Gorn to Bruce and Rayner to Trelaw. No, I probably wouldn't be jumping at Bruce. I don't wait and see what the teams do. But I think he was ready to go last week. Didn't get played, I believe. I think he was on extended bench, wasn't picked. So, no, look, I just hold. And Trelaw's handy option, yes. But just wait and see what happens in terms of your Gorn trade. I'm not sure. Not sure if Bruce is in the mix. Let's see what the teams do tomorrow. Jason Beck, Shorty, is that Malibu in your water glass? Yeah, look, I could go Malibu, mate. I really could. Actually, having a week off this weekend. Jeez, they don't happen often. Cheers, mate. But yeah, just having a cruisy one this week. No Malibus, boy, oh boy. Oscar, hey Shorty, rate this. Boom. Thanks you, mate. I did Houston, Caldwell, and English in for Gorn, Ward, and Whitfield. I have 200k in the bank. Nice one, mate. Yeah, look, Caldwell could well benefit from Merritt being out of the team. Bit of an unknown quantity. I would say Dan Houston, I'm not buying what he's selling. He's had the capabilities to go big over the journey, but has also had his stinkers in there. So he's not for me. If we just look at some of his stats last year, you look at last year, the first 5 rounds, 82, 156, 95, 116, 48, 107, 54, 94, 49. I know I went a few more rounds there, but he's been up and down. So I wouldn't be jumping on board the Houston train. I think it could be derailed at some stage, but he's running hot for Ream at the moment. Do you like the idea of unlimited trades? Our man with the risky name says, no, I absolutely hate it. I'd go the other way. I think the less trades, the better it rewards good coaches. My perfect trade number would be 26 or 28. I think there's not too many ways you can differentiate yourself these days from, say, a good coach to a not so good coach. I think any monkey can pick a decent starting side because there's so much social media and coverage out there. The one thing that not everyone can do is manage their trades, have discipline, make the right efficient calls to end up with a good team in round 22. or later in the season. So no, I hope that we see trades decreased over the next couple of years. Yeah, hey Shorty, I made these trades: Whitfield to Skinner, D8, Ridley to Hall, and Berry to Cripps. What do you think about those trades? I like it. I like it. Look, I think if Skinner's at D8, then that's okay. Hopefully, you still have some decent coverage on the field, and you're not exposing yourself too much. Otherwise, really good, really good. So, no, I like it there. Or what about the Melbourne Supercoach edition where you are allowed to rot the cap? Yeah, good. I like that, mate. Caden, what do you think of the trade assist? Look, I've seen it. I don't really know what it is, but my gut feel on what I think it is, I think it's stupid. I'm guessing it's just a trade suggestion or something like that. But no, I don't really like all these things where it just tells you what to do. Like I hate projected scores. I think it's dumb. We got to have some individualism on our teams, don't we? Arya also says, what's Jared Witt's projected price range? Just as I bag out projected scores. Oh, look, what's he going to score the next 3 weeks? I don't know. That's what it'll come down to. I would say he's at, what is he, 390 now? I'd say there's a mathematical form to it, but just trying to project myself, I would say it's likely he gets to 480 to 520 in 3 to 4 weeks. But he could come out and score 54 next week. He could come out and score 142, and that's going to drastically change it. So it is all comes down to your week to week. Lockie says, I don't know if you follow the EPL or anything, Shorty, but in the EPL they have things like the triple captain and the bench boost, which can activate it once a season. Do you think this is something you'd like to see in Supercoach? Yeah, absolutely. I honestly do. I think, like I said before, it's so hard to find a difference to your mate. You've all got half the same team, 3/4 the same team. So any triggers that we can pull as coaches that are individual to our own team, tactical, strategic, I like it. So yeah, I definitely think I love the trade boost, and hopefully in the years to come we see more stuff like that. Like I said before, the price freeze, I like it. Freeze someone's price for a week. Put them on lay-by. I reckon it's all these trading tactics are crucial to good coaches and bad coaches. Oscar, I'm ranked 270. Fuck yeah, nice. I'm deciding on either push for Heaney or just leave it and not have a trade a primo to get him. Yeah, well, I wouldn't sacrifice a premium to get him. And the way you're tracking at the moment, mate, I would probably just sit on your hands. I mean, yeah, maybe let me know what premium you're thinking of trading, because I do think Heaney is a good guy to have in your team, and he won't stay at that price for long. But I wouldn't throw out a gun just to get him, because you're obviously tracking really well. So keep it up, mate. And Lockie continues, surely you do a Guava Cruiser shoey if the stream turns up tonight. Look, mate, if the stream turns up tonight, I will grab a beverage of some description, and hopefully it's a Guava Cruiser. So there you go. Let's get us to 100, and I'll smash a Cruiser. Melbourne Storm unlimited salary cap. What about the cost of living allowance? Oh, the cost of living allowance. Jesus. Come on. I know. Shocking, isn't it? Those bloody Sydney siders. Bloody controversial stuff, mate. He doesn't just have a controversial name. He's throwing up all sorts of topics. And he continues. And the future welfare payments during COVID. Oh, boy, he's tackling the issues tonight. That's over Shorty's head. I don't know. I'm just a simple Supercoach guy. Sean Nugget. I thought it was Nugget at first. Shorty's Wednesday night lives. They're hitting different this year. Naughty little numbers you're serving us up thus far into the Supercoach 22 season. Thanks, mate. Shawnee, yes, we're hitting things different here across the live session, so I'm glad you're enjoying it out there, mate. We'll have a little preview towards the weekend after I finish work tomorrow night. I think I've got a footy tips video out at the moment, so yeah, it's all happening. So I appreciate your support to everyone out there, to be honest. I really enjoy doing these lives, and yeah, hopefully they can just continue to be just grow and grow and grow. But to be honest, I remember when I first started them, I was like, gee, I hope I get like 10 people involved. So to have, it's been like 70 for the whole stream is pretty crazy, to be honest. So But like I said, if you got a mate who's not watching, let him know because Shorty's 27 people away from drinking a cruiser. So, Michael, who would you go, Shorty? Brayshaw, Neil, or Cripps? I would go Neil out of those. I think they're all guns, but I think Neil, if you want to be the best of the best, that's a pretty strong three, but I would just give Neil the edge. Corey, I'm thinking of keeping McGovern for another week for Nick Martin on the bubble. Yeah, probably depends what Mitch McGovern is break-even style. There's really not much point in holding him. Yeah, look, you're not going to be too hurt. You get Nick Martin in when you can, but yeah, keeping McGovern's not going to be disastrous for you. He might surprise us. You never know. So, Simon, Heaney or Cripps? Gosh, it's a tough one. I would. Neither of them. Neither will stay at that price for long. I probably slightly trust Cripps more, so I'd go him. But both going to be guns. Josh, how are you, mate? Thoughts on bringing in Cripps, Witts, Luke Ryan, and trading out Ward, Whitfield, and Gawn? Yeah, I like it, mate. You've gone the POD with Ryan. I like that. And I think your other guys, you got to have Cripps. I'm seriously contemplating Witts as well. So, no, I like it, mate. Good stuff. Arya took the words out of my mouth. What the hell was that? Out of my goddamn mouth. Ridley, hold, or sell? That's going to keep me up tonight, mate. That is going to keep me up. I don't know. For me, at the moment, it's probably Ridley versus Whitfield. And I know that sounds stupid, but I'd prefer to go Gawn to English, Durden to Heaney. I can do that if I downgrade Ridley. If I downgrade Whitfield to Hewitt, I have to go. I can still get Heaney, but I have to probably go Gawn to Witts. So I don't know. It's a headache. I'm not too sure. I wish I could help you, but I was messaging Langers today. I was like, Langers, help me out. Goodness me, I'm stressing here. Oh, boy. Kahu Supercoach is back. Just found out that Hugh Dixon is injured. Oh, no. Oh, Kahu, you're killing me, brother. Oh, no. What's he done? Oh, no, I can't even find it on Google. You must have a hot-wired phone straight to Adam Simpson's bedroom. That's saucy. Disappointing. That pisses me off, to be honest. Pisses me right off. Oh, God. I didn't need that. Oh, boy. Northern Territory team in future players would have a cheaper living price. I wouldn't mind seeing a team in the NT, to be honest. Get in Tassie, get in Northern Territory. The Devastator, Whitfield and Ward and Baldwin, Bowie, Cripps and Cherry. Yeah, it's going to be popular trade, mate. I really like Cherry, so nice. I like it. Reese is on board. Is it worth trading for Hayes, or is that just a trade burn? I wouldn't prioritise him. Oh, shit. I need my charger. Oh, my God. I'll be back. What's that? Shut. What are you watching? Yeah, it sounds crazy. All right. I thought I had my charger plugged in. I did not. Where was I? Oh, yeah. Reese, what is up, my friend? Look, I wouldn't make it a priority. Yeah, I think, look, with Ryder coming back, he could be out of the team in 2 weeks. He's definitely not going to get much ruck time now, is he? So, yeah, you'll only get one price rise out of his round one banger. Probably not a priority for me, guys. Carl, do you see any ruck angles involving Bruce? The forgotten man, but Flynn got bullied at a touch last weekend by the Nank and Soldo tagged him. Surely Bruce comes in. Yeah, you're right. He got absolutely destroyed old Flinny. No angles involve Bruce this week. Even if he gets named, we can't be going off just a bloke getting named in the team. So he could stink it up. He could be the R2. He could come out and score 43. Bruce might be involved at some stage, but we're going to have a look at it. So not just yet, mate. But yeah, let's see what the teams bring. I think he'll probably come in. SDS Supercoach, hey, Shorty, I've sorted out my trades for this week, but not for next week. If Steele has another shocker, he scored 111. It's not a shocker. He'll be all right. And Rao cuts sick, even with one price change. Is that trade worth it? Oh, look, mate, we can probably only cross that bridge when we get there. Steele, I don't know. Have I missed something? Like, he's not going that bad. So if Steele does have another stinker, then let's talk next week. Let's have a suss. But I really think he'll turn up again and he'll be fine. So keep the faith with Jack Steele. He'll be all right. Goji says, does Jackson come in for Gawn? Smart choice or not? It's definitely an option, mate. Definitely an option. It's something I've considered. I think it's probably Luke Jackson or Jared Witts. So I think I probably prefer Witts just because there's a bit more reliability about their ruck role. But yeah, Jackson he'll fluctuate. There'll be no doubt about it. But he's good. He's getting better and better. Lance Rance for Richmond. Oh, Lance Rance. Old mate Alex Rance? Wait. Carl Guava Cruiser Shuey. Yeah, gee whiz. Wild scenes here in the Shorty community. Big baller. Unfortunately, I went Clary over Neil for POD, trading Berry up to Neil and Shitfield down to Bowie to fix it. Miss out on Cripper though. Yeah, look, it's a tough one. I mean, Oliver's been all right, hasn't he? But Neil's just been next level. So spewing you miss out on Cripper, mate. But hopefully at some stage, you won't get him at that price again, but hopefully at some point you can get him into the team. Why limit Supercoach on-field stats? What about we choose players? Oh, he's getting a little risky now. He's getting a little risky over here, old mate. But hey, I do encourage the banter. Luke, don't trade cash cows for higher rated cash cows, especially in forward. Yeah, that's probably fair. I mean, I think you probably just want to either sideways. You definitely don't want to be paying up for cash cows. That's probably a fair point. Ben says, is Gawn, Chapman and Berry to Witts, Caldwell and Heaney a good trade? Rest of my team is okay. Don't have any more underlying problems. And I reckon Caldwell has more upside than Berry because Merritt is out. Yeah, look, I tend to agree. I mean, Caldwell, out of everyone you named, is the unknown quantity. But the fact that Merritt is out, I think we can say it's a risk worth taking and he should get some more opportunities. So, yeah, good luck to you. I hope so. I do like Caldwell and hopefully he does get the opportunity for those that have brought him in. Dwayne, all my players have increased in price. I didn't do the old rookie primos. Interesting little tactic change from old Dwayne. He says something else down here. Witts for safety, Jackson for ceiling. Yeah, that's a good way of summing it up. I think Jackson will get 5 games over 100 this year. Next year, Jackson will be a 100-plus player. Yeah, I think the more and more we see of Jackson, the better and better he's going to get. So probably not he's not a keeper this year. Definitely not in the ruck. And Witts is, you're summing up nicely. Probably the safer option. Luke also mentions if you don't have Cherry but have Rochelle, Martin and Brody, don't force a trade. Yeah, that's fair. I mean, ideally you have all 4. But you're right. You don't want to go crazy off the back of one good game. Bets on the size of donkeys. Interesting. Walk the Earth Dead. What's your thoughts on Chad Warner for Josh Ward? Thanks. Look, I thought Chad Warner was awesome, but from memory, he's priced pretty awkward, like 304, is he? 374. No, I wouldn't do that. As good as he was, and thanks heaps for the question, but no, I probably wouldn't do that one. I think you're trading up 200K for someone that's not a keeper. So, no, I probably wouldn't do that one. But Warner's a very talented young player and loving some inside mid-time at the Swans. Michael says, Bruce, thoughts? I think we've got to wait and see, mate. He might be a factor. He might be a factor if he gets going, if he gets in the team. But until some of those if things that we ask actually become real, we can't really assess it. So watch this space. Hoodie T, hey, Shorty, Hinge or McCartan to field this week. Also Noah Answorth to Tunner against North. Yes, my mate Watson loves a bit of Noah Answorth. I would... I'd probably go McCartan, to be honest. I just think, he might again get some intercept marks with a bit of a weaker doggies forward line. But yeah, they both were really solid for us last week. So hopefully they do the same. The Devastator, hey Shorty, is trading Whitfield, Ward and Baldwin for Cripps, Bowie and Cherry. Yeah, look, I like that, mate. Bowie's not my cup of tea this week. I've got other options, but I get the thought behind it. He's going to make us some cash and bring in Cripps and Cherry. Good options. Dave Zabo, who are the three must-have rookies to bring in this week? Look, I mean, it's hard to say. Like, I think you just got to have the main guys. Like, you try and have Brody in your team. Try and have, I guess, Nick Martin's not pressing. You just got to have those Dacos's, Horn Francis's. Dill Stevens is a big one that maybe you didn't have, and you got to get Hinge, McCartan. I think anyone with a good break even, I think is worth considering. But I feel like the sense I'm getting is that probably rookies aren't much of a concern at the moment. It's probably more our premium adjustments. So, yeah. Big John, hey, mate, just wondering what your thoughts on Hewitt. Is he a top 10 defender at season's end and a must-have? I think he's very, very good chance to be. And at that price, I think it's worth rolling the dice. I think at that price, it's worth having a look. So he's on fire at the moment, loving an inside midfield role. Blues are flying. He's flying. We'll know more when we get the big five all involved at once. Chera, Cripps, Walsh, Hewitt, and Kennedy. I think Kennedy will probably be the one to move a touch. But yeah, at the moment, I think he will be top 10. Bo, g'day, Shorty. I traded out Josh Gibcus for Hewitt this week. Gordon Hewitt. I love that. Nice, mate. I like it. Carrying on from Big John, getting around Hewitt. Good stuff. Josh Doolan, hey, Shorty, how are we? I'm good, mate. How are you traveling? Good to see you again. Nothing wrong with a few cruises. What's more important, getting Neil in as M4 with Cripps at M5 or Heaney F2 with Dunkley and Butters around him? I tend to think getting Neil in is more important. And thanks. Good to see you too again, mate. Good to see you backing up my controversial choice of the cruisers. But look, honestly, I think Neil, both important issues, but I think Neil might be the one to go with. Charlie, who is a must in my squad? Do you have anyone in mind? Because I think, look, honestly, I think Cripps and Neil are the main ones that we've been talking about. George Hewitt, I think, is a likely trade-in option. But if there's something specific to your team, let me know. Josh, can anyone tell me what Min we're up to in the chat? Yeah, true. Goji, first year on Supercoach. Can anyone explain the loophole putting De Koning captain and someone like Neil or McRae vice? Yeah, for sure, mate. So what the loophole does is, in essence, gives you 2 cracks at the captaincy. So you will put in a guy as VC who plays early in the week, see how they go. Like we saw the other week, McRae 142. You say, okay, I'll take that. So what you do is you put a 0 on the field, make him captain. So what that means is that your captain doesn't score, so it doubles your vice captain. But what's crucially important is that you have an emergency on the bench that then covers that 0. So, yeah, like you saw with De Conning, maybe a McCartan comes onto the field to replace his 0, and you get the double vice captain. You can sometimes overthink yourself, and I've had times where I've butchered it with the timing of games and that type of thing. So keep it simple, but it is a useful tool to do, the old vice captain loophole. The Devastator, Whitfield, Baldwin, and Ward for Bowie, Cherry, and Cripps. Good trade. Absolutely. Very popular trade. I'm seeing that one coming through quite a bit, so I like it. Evan, bro, I'm the one question you skipped over already. What did I skip, mate? Oh, boy. You're kidding me. What did I skip you? You're kidding me. Oh, mate, you're one of the regulars too. I apologize if I did. I see you've got another question down here. I'll read it right now. Sorry, mate. Jeepers. Trade Gawn, Berry, and Whitfield to get Heaney, Cripps, and Hall. It'll be risky having Hayes at R2 and Marshall at R1, but I'm losing 2 primos to get 3. Already have Cherry at R2 for later. Yeah, look, I'm right there with you. I like everything about it, except that I hope Hayes doesn't kill you on the field. But time will tell. And hopefully, for your sake, he can just hold up. But yeah, otherwise, very, very good. Ben, shorty, I gave Lockie Neal a come tribute after chucking the C on him Saturday. Is that good? Oh, mate. If you got the C on Lockie Neal, I'd encourage any sort of crazy behaviour there. If you can double a 200, it's cause for celebration, mate. Good stuff. Thanks for answering my question. No worries, mate. No worries. I wish I could read your name out, but gee, it could get me in trouble. So I appreciate all your questions, mate. Dean, Whitfield, Gawn, and Berry to Cripps, Heaney, and English, or Cripps, Heaney, and Hall. Would have to use Hayes at R2. What was the difference there? The difference was pretty much English versus Hall, pretty much. Oh, yeah, because Hayes be R2. Honestly, mate, I would do the initial one. I'd have English in the team. I would try and avoid Hayes at R2. I think it's potentially risky. So, yeah, I would do that one. And we got to Evan before. The big baller. What's going on? What's more important, getting in Cripper and Hewitt or getting in Neal? Don't have either. I'd preference Neal, to be honest. I think they're all really important players to have, but I would preference getting Neal into the team. Thanks again for everyone who's been tuning in. If you've been on for the whole thing, you're an absolute legend. If you're floating in, floating out, how you going? Good to see you. Hopefully I've got to your question. But yeah, really appreciate you guys jumping on board. We're nearly at the hour and a half mark. Still a few questions to go, so I'll keep chipping away. But hopefully, oh shit, there is so many questions. Holy shit. All right, I'll do my darndest to get through as many as I can. Where was I up to? That's the thing. I scroll down to the bottom, try and find where I'm at. Then I'll lose a minute just for trying to find it. Anu, okay, done. How are you, Anu? Good stuff. Caden, I've used 2 of my boost trades so far, but I think they were well worth it. Absolutely. I mean, it's good time to be aggressive. Good time to be aggressive early on. Lockie, mates, and I were talking about Medi subs and how it ruins prices and break evens. Do you think they should give players that are subbed on a score multiplier depending on how late in the game they come on? Oh, I just wish they got rid of the medical sub in general, to be honest. I don't think you can have a multiplier because it just can't work out that way fairly. I think it does suck for SuperCoach, but I don't think there's an answer to it. So that's what's really tricky. I've never liked the sub. I didn't like it when it was normal. I don't think it helps concussion. That was why it was brought in. I don't think it's helped or done what we were told it was going to do. So I'd ditch it, to be honest, mate. The 9 saw the 1,000th goal kick from the 10th row back. Was dope night. That is cool, mate. That is awesome. I'm jealous. I wish I was there. It was a pretty cool moment. Shannon, who will win this week for tomorrow night's game? You can check out my AFL footy tipping video. It's up right now, but I have tipped the Swans. Been waiting for the Dogs to bounce back last week. Didn't happen, so I'm on the Swans. Kynan says Hall or Stewart. As good as Hall is going, I would still go Stewart. I think he's safer option, but both within their rights to be top 6. Tumba, thoughts on Tommy Green? Super talent. I don't think he is any sort of a must-have. Ripping round 1 score. Came back to the pack a touch last week. Still turned up. So not urgent, but very good player. Oatsy, cheers, Shorty. Good luck this round. You too, mate. No worries. Good to have you on board again. Thanks for tuning in, asking plenty of questions. Where are we? Luke, Shorty, my man. Best thing I did was trading Steel to Crips 10 minutes before round 1. Put me in the top 1%. Lukey, good stuff, mate. Yeah, those calls are beautiful when they come off, aren't they? So good. Nice work. Keep me updated with how you're going, mate. Doing nicely. The 9 says, plus this SuperCoach thing is a full-time job. Yeah, it takes up a bit of our time, doesn't it? But we love it. We do love it. Josh, as a Bombers fan, I wouldn't be surprised if Gawn dropped the 150 against the shorty. So an interesting one to see how many let him go. Yeah, and I think with this, it's not to say that Gawn won't have massive scores. It's just to say from a financial point of view, it makes a lot of sense. And we can get him in 3 or 4 weeks with the trades we have. I wouldn't normally condone that, but yeah. Bo, I'm keeping Gawn for 1 more week. Interesting. I hope he fires for you because he's going to drop pretty hard. But I think if you keep him this week, you're almost committing for an extended period. So will be interesting to see. Jonas, Shorty, do you think Bowie, Hinge, McCartan at D4, 5 and 6 is okay the next few weeks? Gibcus and DeConning on the Pine. Look, there's probably a little bit of risk to it because all those guys are capable of scoring 50. And last week we also saw what they were capable when they go well. So it's probably a risk that's worth taking. But what we probably do know is that they are probably some of the more unpredictable rookie or lower end priced players. So just bear that in mind, I reckon. Karina, how you going? Noog is a good 90-plus cash booster. Brayshaw lost lots of points because he gave away free kicks, or was that Gawn and Oliver giving away 20 free kicks? Oh, Angus Brayshaw. Yeah. I mean, look, Gawn and Oliver gave away a stack of free kicks, particularly in round 1, didn't they? Keep in mind that players with 150 average like Brayshaw are luck to average 120 season's end. Oh, yeah, we definitely don't anticipate them to keep that scoring up, but it'll level itself out. But I think Brayshaw is here to stay. I think he's going to be a premium that averages 110 to 120. Hard to predict. I work for Yahoo Finance Australia. Nice. Good stuff. Gawn versus Essendon may be a big game for him. Yeah, it's a good point. I reckon, could go massive, could make us eat our words. But, yeah, we'll watch and see, won't we? Should be an interesting game against the Dons. Jonas, the Bulldogs get spanked in the ruck. English couldn't even beat Pitnet, DeConning, and Gawn hit the ball straight to the Dogs' mids like 8 times. He's not a ruckman and won't last the season, I guarantee. Whew. But I'll tell you what he does do well is around the ground. He's honestly one of the better around the ground rucks, I reckon. So, that's a scathing review from that could be Luke Beveridge behind there. Gee whiz. Luke says Brody is a top 10 forward. Wow, massive call. I'm not sure I totally agree, but I think over the first 6 to 8 weeks he could be, because without Fife, I think he just laps up that inside mid-roll. Lockie, all right, Shorty, you've convinced me. I'll take Gawn out and put Wits in. Thanks, no worries, mate. I'll be going there with you, I reckon. So I hope we're happy this time next week. Andy T, hey Shorty, hope you're well, mate. Likewise, mate. Thanks for jumping on board. I need to bring in Cripps and Heaney because I am being demolished without owning them, but need to trade either Gawn or Steele. Which would you let go? Good luck, bud. Definitely Gawn, mate. I think he's going to plummet in price, and I'm backing Steele in. I really am. Gawn, bit of a positional change or slight change in how much he rucks, where Steele, just a slightly sluggish start to the year. So keep the faith. I'd trade Gawn and get those big dogs in. Good luck to you too, mate. Kirk says Gawn, Whitfield and Owens out for Wits. Sicily and Heaney already have Cripps and Hewitt. Thoughts? Yeah, don't mind that. I mean, I think Sicily hasn't lit the world on fire, but I think he's playing decent footy. So, yeah, look, for your overall team, I quite like that. Yeah, and Sicily may or may not come good, but yeah, if it works for your overall team. Jason says Andy Brayshaw. Oh, this is a question before. Andy Brayshaw, Amon, Hind, in out Dunkley, Trelaw, McGuinness. I have a forward line of Heaney, Taranto, Butters, Cogs, Brody, Cherry, and less than 1% ownership. Look, I wouldn't be trading out Dunkley. I definitely wouldn't be doing that. I know Amon did really well, and I don't see Nick Hind being Supercoach relevant for the entire year. So look, no, I wouldn't be getting rid of. I read that right, didn't I? Brayshaw, Amon, Hind, in, out, Dunkley, Trelaw, McGuinness. No, I'd keep the faith in both those Bulldogs, to be honest, mate. I think Amon, may keep it up. He may not. He's been a bit of a flash in the pan at times. So no, I'd stick true with those big guns in the Dogs side. David, hey Shorty, thoughts on trading out Steele, Ward, Taranto for Cripps, Heaney, George Horn, Francis? Oh no, I'd keep Heaney. Sorry, I'd keep Taranto and I'd keep Steele. I get where you're coming from. Like you need all three of those guys. You need Horn, Francis. You need Cripps. You need Heaney. But the only one I would sacrifice would be Ward. Steele at a pinch, but I think Taranto, he's going all right. What did he score? Like 119 and 88 or something like that. Yeah, look, I if it works for you, then it works for you. But I couldn't sit here and say ditch Taranto, to be honest. But yeah, it has come through a couple of times. Luke says grab Steele when he drops 150k. Yeah, look, I tend to see where you're coming from. I'd be happy to keep him, but if you think you can get him back cheaper, it's much like I'm thinking with Gorn, I suppose. So, Anu's back. What's going on, mate? Dimitri, Worth McGovern to Brody for a boost with Fife set to be out for 5 weeks or so. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I think he's going to score some really nice numbers. Loves the inside mid-roll and should see plenty of it with Fife out. Luke also says early rounds are about cash generations. Don't chase points. You're spot on. Make sure you got those guys making you money. Otherwise, in round 6 or 7, you'll be looking at your bench and you'll be going, geez, I need some more coins. So you're spot on. Shannon, Gaff, or Paddy Dangerfield? Jeepers. I'd go Dangerfield, but that's a couple of unique ones. I would go Dangerfield, though. Hoodie T, more faith in Witt, but biased because one of my favourite players in the comp. Yeah. He's one of my favourites too, and he's killed me. Oh, I don't know. I hope he bounces back. Anu says, but I'm a headache because if I take out Ridley, he's cheap, and then he starts going 96 points every week. He isn't cheap anymore. Yeah. It is. It's a headache, mate. Like I said before, Ridley or Whitfield, I don't know. And Lockie reckons the Kahoot sounds grouse nice. I reckon I'll have to do that then. I might try and get the quiz going for you next week. King, hey Shorty, when I said Darcy, Steele, and Whitfield for Hall, Cripps, and Wits, 480k in the bank, is that a good trade? I can get Steele back in a rookie rise when rookies rise in price. Yeah, look, that's fair enough. And I think, look, a lot of people are thinking they will get Steele back. So, look, I think he'll drop in price and you'll be able to get him again. You've got lots of money in the bank. So, no, that's fair enough, mate. That's fair. If you got a plan in place to bring him back in, then that's fair enough. Luke, English had to be in your forward line, top 6 forward, you silly billies. Yeah, we got some different opinions on English. Luca, g'day, Shorty. I'm in a pickle. Would you rather trade Gawn to Wits or Whitfield to Bowie? I'd rather go Gawn to Wits, mate. Hopefully that helps you, but I just I think Wits is going to give you far more safe scoring ability, and I think they're both stepping stones, and Wits is the better scorer of them. I know Whitfield says 3 years ago he scored 55 for 4 weeks. Then I take him out, and I know. There's nothing worse than trading a bloke when you lost the patience and then he decides to bounce back. No good. The 9 McGov to Bowie. Yeah, look, I think Gov's got to go, and if Bowie's your option, then I think that'll make you a lot of coin. A few people downgrading to him. Look, it's not something I've had to consider. I don't have either of them, but yeah, look, it will make you money. It's a bit of a short-term investment, Bowie. Hayden, hey mate, love the vids. Thank you, mate. Legend. I've currently gone Whitfield to Hewitt. Then not sure whether to go McGovern to Cherry or trade Ward to Rao and trade McGovern to a 200k or under player. That is tough. I'd probably bring in Rao, I reckon. I just think his upside is massive. I do really like Cherry, but I'd probably just say do the Rao one. But yeah, that's a tricky one. Jonas, yeah, Shorty's hair remix video for the bloke who wants Shorty on OnlyFans. Watch out, your dreams are becoming a reality. Yeah, there you go. Finally found my OnlyFans mark. It only took me a month. There you go, mate. Yeah, you're right. I know Whitfield he's been a roller coaster at times, hasn't he, Lockie? Yeah. Tyler says, what do you think of this trade? Miller and Cripps to Close and Higgins. Come on, man. I know how much you love Took. You're pulling me leg there, brother. You're pulling my absolute leg. So, Jickle, what do you reckon Zach Bailey will average? Probably high 80s, early 90s. And I haven't even seen how he's been going. Let's have a look. Right now, he's averaging 75. That's not ideal. Look, I do think he'll average high 80s, early 90s. But whether that's enough, not too sure. Nick, trade Dusty. We're just going to have to wait and see. Wait on some news. Look, if he's not named this week, then yeah, we got to trade him. Because if it's not this week, then who knows? Who knows when it could be? Obviously, we wish him well with whatever he's sort of going through, and we want to see Dusty back. But it's not like an injury. There's no return date at the moment. So watch the teams. But at the minute, looking likely trade. Kalen, should I go McGovern and Chapman to Hayes and Hewitt? I definitely like the Hewitt one. I'm not as crash hot on Hayes. I just think with Ryder coming back, it hurts his job security. It hurts his scoring ability. So not necessarily a lock, but I do think getting Hewitt in is a really good option. Ash says Whitfield and Berry to Bowie and Heaney. Yeah, look, I think Bowie's probably not someone I have considered, but if it allows you to get Heaney, then that's crucial. So, and Bowie's going to make you some quick cash, so it checks out. James Francis, if I go Gawn to Wits, is it better to go Chapman to Bowie and then have the leftover cash for an upgrade to Heaney next week, or go Hall this week and try to get Heaney in other areas? The real tricky thing with Heaney, right, is that he's going to explode. Like, he's not going to stay at that price anywhere near it for long. So I'd try and assess your options in terms of getting Heaney, but not that the ship sailed, but it will have sailed a fair way in 1 week. You know, his price is going to go boom. So I'd almost think about having some leftover cash to try and do the Heaney one and just assess where the prices kind of go after the week. But yeah, it is a bit tough. We almost need 4 trades this week, don't we? We really do. Frag, Shorty, hello again, my man. Cripps in this week quicker than a Sheila slapping me on a Saturday night. Has to be done. You're a menace, mate. But good stuff. Get Cripper in. That's what we like. Karina says, bye, lovely. Thank you now. I am enlightened. No worries. I hope to see you again. Good to chat. We'll definitely hopefully catch you in another live session. Luke, just bragging, top 2,000 rank with no trades. Far out. Luke's on fire. He's flying, saving those trades. Nice, mate. Chest on my shirt. Hey, Shorty, I'm trading Martin and Gawn to Butters and Hewitt, moving Hayes to Ruck, and thinking about a third trade to bring in Cherry. Is he a must? Hayes will be tempting in ruck until next week. I think Cherry's very close to a ruck. I like that you're getting Butters and Hewitt in. All I'd say is just, I don't know, I hope Hayes can hold up in R2. I do feel like it's risky, but I would try and get Cherry in. I think he's a really optimistic cash cow. Bit pricier, but try and get him in. And, he'll get dual position in round 6, so could potentially help out your ruck situation, depending how it looks by then. Mitchell, hey, Shorty, you cutie. Another OnlyFans subscriber. They're building up. Thanks, Mitchell. Luke, hey, Shorty, love your vids, mate. Whitfield for Hall or Bowie? Just thinking Bowie could make a heap of cash. Oh, look, he will make a heap of cash, but you're also going to have to make another trade. I'd probably be more inclined to just, unless you need that cash for other things, I'd just go Hall, unless you need upgrades elsewhere. I'd just keep that premium option in your team. Stuart says, thoughts on Cornelio? It's going really well. All we need is that sort of 85, 90, and he's going to make some really good cash. So, he's going well. He's ticking the boxes. So, I think he's doing well for us. Luke says, Shorty, what was your highest rank ever? I think it was only in just inside the top 2,000 or something like that. It was a while ago now. But, I don't know when it was, but definitely had a few stinker years the last couple. So hopefully I can break right through that this year. Stickle says, do you think it's worth hanging on to Steele? Absolutely, I do. I've been encouraging that. So, yes, I would say do that, my friend. Caden says, if Steele has a bad game this week, would you consider trading him? Yeah, honestly, I would. But we'll probably deal with that if it happens. Last week, he didn't get lots of the ball, but he had a classic Jack Steele tackling game. So, I'd keep the faith, guys. I'd keep the faith. Cameron says, Shorty, could you rank Lloyd, Hall, and Stewart? Can only afford Hall, but just curious on how you'd rank them. Yeah, for sure, mate. I would probably go Stewart, Lloyd, and Hall. So Hall probably just gets slightly demoted just because he hasn't done it for as long. His injury history is worse. And Lloyd and Stewart's a bit of a toss of the coin. I just think there's a few more moving pieces down back with the Swans, with Blakey and maybe McInerney at times. I think Stewart's just going to do the same thing he's done for years and years. So hopefully that helps you, mate. Jamie, selling Gawn is English to pick. Yeah, look, English, Jackson might take your fancy, or Wits is a really safe option too. But I do like the option of getting English in and swinging him forward when the time's right. Jason says the Ridley option gets the other players you really want to keep Whitfield. Yeah, look, gosh. Umming and ahhing. Thank you, mate. Thank you. Nick, thoughts on Gawn, Baldwin, Sheldrick for Stevens, Cherry, and Wits? Or should I change Whitfield or Ridley and let Stevens go? Look, get Stevens in. Like a fella said before, we want to generate cash. It's crucial to get on those cash cows that are going to make us lots of money because it'll help us upgrade in the future. So, yeah, I would preference getting Stevens in there, mate. Matchbox, hey, Shorty, bit late, just got home. Thoughts on 3 trades this week? Ridley to Hall, Gawn to English, Richards to Bowie. Yeah, another one ditching Ridley. Interesting. Thanks for joining in, mate. Appreciate it. But, look, I quite like that. Bowie's going to make you money. English I like, and Hall's on fire. So, yes, I don't know. Yeah, I like it. Look, I'm contemplating my own moves as we go. Stuart Dixon out. Return to be confirmed. Yeah. True. Yeah, well, as long as it's not a new injury or anything, as long as it's health and safety, that's okay. He'll be back at some point, hopefully. Axel, thoughts on trading Steele for Cripps and Josh Ward for Heaney? I've been preaching to keep Steele, but if it does open up the option of bringing in 2 premiums for the price of 1, then I would encourage that. And Nick's just wondering the same. Isaac Heaney listed at full forward. I know, doesn't that just make you nervous? Gosh, but he's finding ways, isn't he? And Papley's getting closer to a return, which has to help with some form of midfield time, doesn't it? Does it? Don't know. Surely. Jamie, I've sold Gorn, Steele, and Gibcus and replacing them with Cripps, Hewitt, and an unknown ruck. Yes, well, hopefully you're not exposing yourself too much in the ruck 2 department. Otherwise, that's looking solid. Shannon says P. Dangerfield or Tommy Hawkins. Two of my favourite cats. We're talking SuperCoach. If we're talking anything, Paddy Dangerfield. Dalton, hey mate, what's going on? How are you? Dalton Chapel. I feel like that name is familiar. Yeah, I feel like we went to the same primary school or something. Anyway, off topic. I went to Grovey, by the way, if that helps. But Cameron, any chance we can get a look at that dream big enough pillow? Looks like a good bit of motivation. Oh, it is, mate. It's massive motivation. You know, you got to keep your dreams alive in this crazy world. You know, Shorty just jumps into bed and after a tough day, he just goes, you know, just these ones. Oh, shit, bit of ASMR. Get out of here, you bastard. There you go. You inspired? You inspired now, mate? Cameron, you're a good man, mate. You're a constant contributor, and that's what we love. Andrew, what's going on, mate? Hey, Shorty, looking to bring in Stevens from the Swans as a rookie. I missed, but also have the cash to bring in Caldwell. I really like after my other trades this week. What do you think? Yeah, I'd probably go Dill Stevens. I think he's gonna, you know, probably potentially score similar, and he's a bit cheaper. So, but yeah, definitely latch onto those cash cows. Latch onto them. Supercoach Pro, hey Shorty, saw you and the boys at the Cats and Tigers pracky game. Nice. Didn't get a chance to say hi as me and the New Zealand housemate were late for the game and he was keen to see his first game. Next time I say hi. Definitely, mate. No, like I always say, if you see me at the footy or floating around, always say g'day. It's great to have a chat. So, no, I'll be not going to any footy this week, but I'll be going to Brisbane Geelong next Friday. So that should be a good game, I reckon. But Supercoach Pro also says Bowie for Whitfield and McGovern for Cripps, or vice versa. These are luxury trades as the side is flying. Top 3%. Nice one, mate. That's awesome. Good job. King JD, English or Wits? I'd say English just because we're not going to keep Wits all year, but there's a chance that we can flip English forward and he could be a forward keeper all year. So I would go that logic. And yeah, fingers crossed. I'm still contemplating it myself. Blue Boy, is it worth trading Whitfield, Berry, and McGovern for DeConning, Brody, and Miller? Yeah, absolutely. I think getting in Brody and DeConning should return. I think Brody's going to lap it up. I definitely get rid of McGovern, Berry. Yeah, that looks good to me, mate. That looks good. Andrew, hey, Shorty, thoughts on trading Berry and McGovern for Cripps and Nick Martin? I already have Brody and Cherry. Yeah, I think that's good, mate. Nick Martin looked fantastic. He should come back in the team, so I like it. That's looking good, mate. Josh Doolan, if I don't have Dill Stevens in my team, Shorty, how important do you reckon it is to get him in? I do think it is important because we need that cash generation. So don't do anything crazy. Like if you don't have the cash, don't create it out of nowhere. But I think if we can have those guys, it's super important in the next month. Bad Machine, what do you think of Boak if he puts in another blinder next game? Should I flick Bruce if he doesn't play a game? Reckon they applied too much pressure with the forceps when Leon Cameron was born. I think Boak's just running hot. He might surprise us, but I wouldn't consider bringing him in anytime soon. I'd just let that one play out, and maybe during the year he might be, but at this stage I wouldn't jump at it. And yes, if Bruce isn't named, yes, I think it's time to give him the boot. I reckon we'll try and just smash through a few. I don't think I'm going to get through all the questions. We'll go sort of maybe over the 2-hour mark or something, sort of to 10:15. But yeah, hopefully I can catch up. We'll just wait and see. Karina Leighton Hewitt, if he has a blinder, he's on the injury list for impaired vision. I think you. Oh, Karina's gone off chops there. Absolute madness. Adam, Lloyd Meek is an option if Darcy is out for a while. If he's out for a while, I'm hearing his chance for this week. Therefore, if it's not this week, it's probably next. So I'd say unlikely. But if Darcy's out for a month, yeah, consider that. Ben, Whitfield to Bowie. I have no other trades to make. Big D's man, never seen a cleaner player. Reckon he scores 80 minimum till Salem gets back. Well, there you go. Look, it's a popular one. It's not something I'm doing, but it is definitely a popular trade. I sort of need to bring in Hewitt, but yeah, he's very, very popular. Confident, humble, just ripping on Stewie G. Josh Doolan, Ward or Stevens, who has a higher ceiling? I think Stevens for sure. I mean, I think Ward will fire some really good shots for us, but Stevens he's got the runs on the board at the moment, so I'd preference him. I think Ward has getting centre bounce attendances, says Nick Hilton. Charlie, Gawn, Berry, Whitfield for Witts, Cripps and Hewitt. I like it, mate. I like it. Caden says, do you know if Brady Hoff is playing? I don't yet. I would imagine he comes back. Again, that West Coast team is hard to get a gauge on. We'll have to wait for sort of this time tomorrow night, a bit earlier. We'll know by then. Max Walsh is in the house. How are you, mate? I have Brody, Naish, Cogs, and Rochelle in my forward line. Already, is Cherry still a must-have? The only thing I'd probably say is, look, Naish was good, so he's probably not, mate. He's probably not. You've loaded up there nicely. Naish scored well last week, and all those other guys are locks. So unless you can go up from a Durden or something. But yeah, I would say you're probably sorted there. But if there's an easy way to work it in, yes, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I do think Cherry's a good option, but don't rattle your whole team or ditch any of those guys to get him. Nifty Nev, g'day, mate. Really enjoy the channel. Thank you, mate. Good to have you on board. I'm top 1%, but want Heaney. Thoughts on Whitfield, Gawn, and Durden out? Hall, Jackson, and Heaney in. I have all the other must-haves. Yeah, good, mate. He's traveling nicely, top 1%. Well done. Yeah, look, I like that. The only thing I would say is Witts versus Jackson is probably my only query, and that probably just comes down to personal preference, mate. So Nick's having a chat to Max. If you have a bad rookie, just pick up Martin next week. Yeah, it's a good point. Sammy, do you think Hayes at R2 is risky? I do, mate. I do, particularly with Ryder looking like he's returning. I do think there is significant risk with that. Even job security over the next fortnight, but could definitely play very much a forward line role. And he just won't kick 3 every week and take clunks like he did in round 1. But so it is a touch risky. Yep. Steele to Neil, Whitfield to Bowie, Berry to Cripps with the ability to get Hall for Richards next week. I like it. You do need Neil. If it comes down to trading Steele for him, then fair enough. But I have been preaching to keep Steele. But yeah, I like the forward planning looking towards next week. Good stuff. Joe Brady, Lockie Neal or Tanner Bruin and Cash. Or Max Gawn. Carlton Rock. Oh, goodness me. Got to go with Lockie Neal, mate. You got to get Lockie Neal in. You got to. Max says, thanks, Nick. I'm not struggling with a cheaper forward line. Players just hearing everyone call him a must-have. Yeah, that's fair enough. Look, I think like I said, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. He's a very good option. But it sounds like you are pretty well stocked up with good options. The only thing I would say is Naish versus Cherry. It might be your only discussion. Jonas, Oliver, and Steele are going 150 plus this week. Bank it. We'll touch on that next week, mate. Boom. It'll be a big response. Steve says, why is everyone jumping off Gawn at the end of the season? I think English will be around the same average. Well, I think just the plummet in price, mate. We probably think we can get him a bit cheaper. Did trade Whitfield this week, though, down to Bowie. And he also says, and Heaney in the forward line, boom, little cricket bat, just knocks that one to the boundary line. Nice, Steve. I like it. Jono, RIP Warney, that was an awesome send-off to the King. Yeah, how are you, Jono? It's, I'll definitely be checking in with how that went. I'm sure it was a emotional but also touching night. So, yeah, still hard to believe that, Shane has passed. It was so sad, but Yeah, there would have been some really nice tributes there, I'm sure. Matthew, g'day, legend. Love your work. Much respect. Keep it coming. Oh, thank you, mate. You're a good man. No, I appreciate it. Thanks for your input. Good stuff. Where are we? Joey says, do we trade Gawn if another below 100-point score? Look, I sort of think if you keep him this way, you're almost committing to him long term. I'd probably want you to make a call on it now, because if he goes poor again, you're going to make the same call as you could have made this week, but you'll get like 80 or 100K, 70K less. So try and make the decision for the long term this week before prices move if you can. Nathan says, can only start 3 of the following: Cherry, Rochelle, Hayes, Ralph Smith, or Martin. I would start Cherry, Rochelle, and probably Martin, to be honest. Yeah. And Steve's gone Hayes. Look, I think we'd ride it back. I'm not so sure. But Caden, should I sub McGovern this week and have Nick Martin on the field next week? I plan trading McGovern as he has a shocker. Yeah, I would probably have Martin starting over McGovern the way he played round 1 and the 2 weeks we've seen from McGovern. I'd roll those dice, yeah. Reese, should I go boost and go Sicily, Durden and Ward and bring in O'Driscoll, Cripps and Heaney? I love the Cripps and Heaney option. O'Driscoll, I don't know, he's played 1 game, was a sub. I'm not too enthused by it, but do what you can to bring in Cripps and Heaney, I reckon. Aaron Lewis, keep it up, mate. Professional opinion. Do you think Hayes is kept? Because I'm thinking of using him as R2 to upgrade Mitch Owens to Cripps. He's going to make us a lot of money, Hayes, for sure, but he only get 1 price rise out of that 130 odd. Ryder coming back. Look, I don't know. I'm sensing a few 50s and 60s from Hayes. So, look, I would be a bit concerned about having him at R2, but he did surprise me round 1. He did. So, but I would be a little wary of having him at R2. Power from Port, Berry, McGovern and Ridley to Cripps, Heaney and Skinner. Or Gawn, Berry, McGovern to Witts, Cripper and Brody. 150K left over. Let me absorb that one. I would try and bring in. That's tricky. Cripps coming in with both of them. I'd do the second one, mate. I'd do the second one there. Yeah, I think it sets you up better for the long term with the cash. Brody cash generation will be quicker than, say, Skinner. I know you don't get Heaney, but yeah, I'd go with that one. Chaz says, Shorty, should I get Kane Baldwin out of my bench? Yeah, look, if you can, maybe it's Nick Martin. Maybe it's if you can without doing anything too crazy. Yeah, he's a bit of a slow burn. He's struggling a bit. So, yeah, I would do that. Kerry, hi, mate. New to the page, been following last couple of weeks. Oh, thank you very much. Good to have you on board. What do you reckon about Dusty? Is he playing this week or should I trade him? Downgrade to Heaney. Yeah, look, obviously we'll be watching closely for the teams, but if he's not in this week, then yeah, I think he's got to go. Because if it's not this week, then we heard Dimmer say it, no real return date. They're not putting any time frame on it. So if it's not this week, then yeah, pull that trigger and get Heaney in. And yeah, welcome to the page. It's always nice to hear from someone who's just jumped on board. Max sitting on top of Shorty SuperCoach League 5 total points. That draft spot next year is mine. Yeah, good, mate. I like it. I like that a lot, mate, because these draft spots hopefully makes it a bit more incentive. So good luck for the first week, mate. Ross, gone. Set and regret. Yeah, that's a good one. Who would have thought? He may well be in our teams at some stage later in the year, but I think it's the right move at the moment. Yeah, have you watched both GWS games? Has Whitfield actually been as bad as everyone has been saying? I haven't. I listened to it on the radio, and the first game I didn't see. I can't answer that one personally, but from what I've read, he's just a touch off. There's been talk of a slight niggle, less possession in, down back. Yeah, he could bounce back. He honestly could, but the pressure index is high for old Lockie Whitfield. Tyler, what do you think of this trade, seeing as you hate my other trade? Miller, Cripps, and Neal to get in. Look, yeah, yeah. Come on, mate. Come on, mate. Bad machine. Have Dunkley, Heaney, Butter, Cogs, Cherry, Hayes, and English next week. Who else do you think is must-have forward? Well, not just yet, but I think eventually Taranto and Duncan will be really, really good options forward. So, yeah, they're probably the two guys that I'd cast a bit of a radar to. Watch this space on DeGoey and Trelaw as well. Jay Eagle, hey, Shorty, thoughts on trading Gawn, Hoff, and Whitfield to Cripper, Heaney, and Bowie with Hayes at R2 to round 6? Yeah, love it, except for the R2. I'll pray for you. I hope he holds on to some good scores, but that is obviously the risk. So good luck to you. Great to bring in Cripper and Heaney, but hopefully Hayes can hold up for you. Ramagar, hey Shorty, saw you on the Centre Bounce collab video. Nice work, man. Oh, there you go. Yeah, Jez is a good man. Did a video with him, just a short thing. I was involved. I think it's going up tonight, maybe. That might be the one you're referring to right now, actually. I've done two. So, yeah, thank you, mate. No, good to hear from you. Kerry, actually thinking about downgrading Gawn to English, use the cash to upgrade Rochelle to Heaney, hold on to Dusty for one more week. I wouldn't get rid of Rochelle, to be honest. I think going to be a really good cash cow for us. I'd probably be more inclined to, it might be Gawn to English and Dusty to Heaney, and you might pocket that cash and use it down the track. Gus, Whitfield and Owens to Hewitt and Cherry. Yeah, that's a tick for mine. I like it. Joe, Daddy Shorty. I need a weekly update on the OnlyFans status. Look, it's still in the works. We're not really ready for our show just yet, but yeah, what can one man say? Someone was requesting Shorty does his hair videos. I don't know if there's a market for that, mate. But Joe, you're a funny man. Axel is going to must trade this week, and who are good options? I think it's not to bag out Gawn like he's never going to score well again, but it's a good strategic decision to make us cash and potentially get him back if we need it in a month or two. Good options, I think Witts, English, Jackson. I probably prefer English because you can swing him forward as a very likely keeper as a forward, so that's why I like it. Steve, can we get a close-up on the trophy back there? Yeah, for sure, mate. That's actually the SuperCoach draft trophy for the league with my mates. Yeah, let's give you a little close-up. So yeah, I literally just went and bought this one. It's a good little trophy. As you can see, I don't know if you'll be able to see overly well. There you go. Oh yeah, it's just backwards. So as you can see, 2021, there's Shorty. Also won it back in 2017. Got Dan in there a couple of times. Daniel, Ronan. So yeah, good little SuperCoach draft trophy there. Hopefully go back to back. DMAC, which rookie would you prioritize out of Nick Martin? You are a wild little unit, mate. You're fucking wild, son. Josh, Trelaw out, Heaney in. No, I don't know. It's a bit sideways for mine. Honestly, I lean towards yes, but it is a little bit sideways because Trelaw, he's done nothing that wrong. But Heaney, he's not going to be that price for long. So it just depends. Mate. Yeah. Power from Port, put some respect on Boke's name, Shorty. Other guys his age are breaking down. Salvacott and Dangerous Line. Oh, I totally respect him, mate. He's going awesome. But I'm just talking about from a SuperCoach perspective. I don't think there's any rush to just get him into the team. But yeah, he's playing great, mate. He's playing great. Spooky Murky, what's good, mate? Absolutely kind of stoned right now. So need advice on this trade. Whitfield to Hall, Barry to Cherry. Hope you're well, mate, and get to catch up soon. Nah, thanks, mate. Always love seeing your name float through there because it's always something interesting. So that trade, yeah, I love it. I love it, mate. Sounds like you're having a good night. So keep it going. Keep it going. That's a good trade. You'll be doing well there. I'll talk to you soon for sure. Josh, Gorn, Gibbs out. Witts, Hewitt in. Yep, that's cool, mate. That is cool. It'll be a popular trade, and I might do similar, I reckon. Jamie, Shorty, Jackson has done a perfect Supercoach 22 team video. Would you do a video similar? I enjoy the collaboration videos with the boys. Yeah, absolutely. I might touch base. Yeah, I was meaning to check in with George over the next couple of weeks. So yeah, I might just do that. I like the collab videos too. I love doing the videos where it's just me, but it's always more fun when you can talk to someone else. So yeah, thank you, Jamie. Hayden, hey Shorty, I'm going to keep going and Ridley, but Shitfield is gone. No efforts. Clearly injured or something. Shitfield, McGovern, and Saligo out. Bowie, Cripps, and Dill Stevens in. Nice, mate. Look, yeah, I don't know what Whitfield's doing, mate. He's a favourite of mine, but I don't know what he's doing. We're going to wind it up soon, guys. We are. And look, I'll try and be punchy. I'll try. Axel, do we have to look to trade Whitfield? We do, mate. We do. He's struggling. Hewitt, maybe. Amusement Productions, Dan, would you go McRae VC or the Amati Party straight C? Yeah, look, I say back in the Amati Party. Just fucking bang the C on that and just back him in. But Stuart, I missed your comments about Canelio. Oh, he's going fine, mate. He's going fine. Keep him, lock and load him. Midfield time, he'll make us some nice coin. Could even keep him all year if he gets going. Caden, is Heaney a must-have before his price goes through the roof? I think so. I think he is. Just for the mere fact that if you get it wrong, you're not going to be able to reach him for a while. That price is going bonkers. So I think if you miss that train, the rest of the comp might be off to the races. Matty, Heaney will come back down after 2 or 3 price changes. Boy, oh boy, just total contradiction of what I said. Oh boy. Sammy, hey Shorty, is Hayes risky at R2, you think? I do think it's risky. Rider back, playing, predominantly forward. So I think so. What's up, Jack?
What are you doing with that trophy?
They asked to see it.
He's bragging, but I'm winning this year.
Watson thinks he's going to get the name on the trophy. I think I might go back to back. Yeah. Yeah, we are actually. Yeah. I think we're almost 1 and 2 on total points as well.
Nah.
Are you?
Rough first week.
Oh, Chuka might be 2.
Yeah, I'm playing Chuka this week. I had a bad first week.
Did ya?
Good second week. I got a few players that get like 15 to 30.
Oh, that's right. Starcevic stitched you. And CJ
and Luke, how do you?
Oh, yeah. Cop the injury. Oh, boy. What was that crazy show you were watching?
The Witcher.
Yeah, that show's weird as fuck.
It was.
I kind of heard it because this picks it up so well. I heard madness coming through. I was like, what the fuck is Jack watching? I'm going to wind this up pretty soon anyway, so. You give me a foot massage later? After a foot massage, or? See you, man. I'll take that no for the foot massage, but you got to ask, Ross, got to go. Great show, mate. Thank you, Ross. Nah, appreciate it, mate. I'll chat to you again soon. Max, who are you putting the C on this week, Shorty? I might even just go a little point of difference VC with Dunkley, maybe, or but I was looking at, honestly, I think Grundy could tear Geelong apart. And Clayton Oliver, I was taking a look at as well. I think he's due for I know he's been good, but I think he could be due. Steve, who are the players you are keeping an eye on that have had a rough start? Yeah, Bont's definitely one. Tom Mitchell. For me, Jack Steele. I don't have him, so I'm keeping an eye on him. Jake Lloyd and Tom Stewart. I know they haven't had rough starts, but I just think they might be a smidgen below their best. And just drop marginally. Nothing crazy, but yeah, they're a couple of guys. Also, if you need some audio advice, hit me up. Thank you, Steve. Hopefully coming through okay. But yeah, technical difficulties are regular with Shorty. Tom, thoughts on trading Gawn down to Bruce, which allows me to go Baldwin to... Tommy boy, just stitching me, mate. You funny bastard. Gus, will Gawn go big against the Bombers? He could, mate, but I still think the financial move, the smart move is to trade him out. We can always get him back but he'll make some good coin to help us out elsewhere. Steve. Tyler, I hear Shorty's OnlyFans has some collabs with Dusty. That's why he's taking some time off. The Stallion. Yeah, stay tuned for that video. Should be coming your way. Spyro says, Will Day. I'd sort of wait and see on that one. I don't think that's super pressing just yet, but super talent could be anything. Gus, what's your captain loophole this week? Like I touched on before, potentially McRae or Dunkley. I feel like Dunkley's, he's been slow, but he's got a big one in him. And like I said before, Grundy very likely C. Power from Port, love your work, Shorty. No ego involved here, like some other guys on YouTube. Oh, thank you, mate. I appreciate it, and good to have you on board. Good to have you all on board, to be honest. I'll whip through these last few, but I will wind it up. I reckon I'll have a quiz for us this time next week as well. So hopefully you guys can get around that. But football bangers, Hayes will be dropped this week. Yeah, Ryder is back. That's a good point. Might keep his spot, I reckon, but might not be beneficial for his SuperCoach scoring. HNT, Owens, Sheldrick, and either Steele or Titch out. I'd definitely go Tom Mitchell. I might get, look, if it's Steele or Mitchell, mate, I'd drop Mitchell, to be honest. But, Chappie's in. He's still going, man. Just get in for the last couple of minutes, probably. Nah, good on you, Chap. It's good to see you, mate. Hope you're well. Max says, do you think Neil can go? Oh, that's a good point. Back-to-back scores against North. Yeah, that's a good point, Max. That is a good point. Neil has to be considered. I forgot about him. I think they play Saturday night. So, yep, keep him in mind. Cam Lewis, is Hewitt a keeper? Potentially. I feel like he's got top 10 vibes. But at that price, it's worth finding out, I think. So he's on fire at the moment. Evan, far out, man. Good job catching up. Thanks, mate. No, awesome to have you on board. Amusement Productions, can you read me a bedtime story, please? Hey, there's my OnlyFans market. Bedtime story with Shorty. Kale, love your work. Whitfield and Gov, for Bowie and Heaney. Thanks for the question, mate. I like it. Good moves. Going to make you cash on one hand. Going to make you lots of points on the other. Tyler, have a good night, champ. Yeah, thank you, mate. I'll be on the lookout for that OnlyFans. Thanks, mate. You're a funny man. It's always good to have you on board. Yeah, you too, Evan. Thank you, mate. Have a good week. And, I might just wrap that one up. Lockie, great stream. Thanks, mate. Yeah, thank you, mate. Hopefully it turns out all right. Hopefully this advice turns out to be good for you guys. Max, can you get that full massage? There you go. Jack can give me a little foot massage, put it on the OnlyFans. Gus, can you read all the news articles with SuperCoach Plus? I actually ditched my SuperCoach Plus because I don't really need it throughout the season. But thanks for jumping on board, Gus. Yeah, Marcus, thank you, mate. You too, my friend. Thanks, Nath. You're a legend, mate. Appreciate it. Dave says, hey, Shorty, love your work. Studying youth work in Geelong. You'll love it. Thank you, mate. Yeah, no, it's going well so far. Really well. So, no, appreciate that, mate. Kirk, thanks for the sesh. Very informative. Can you... you got to pay for that, man. No, okay. And on what better a note to sign off than someone asking to see my feet? I mean, is there any better way to sign off from that? It's been a long time since someone has asked to see my feet. It's been a good couple of weeks, but we will sign off. Big live session. I'm surprised my eyes have held up. Shorty's vision sometimes wavers in the older age these days, but 2 hours and 13. Good stuff. Come on, Nate. I'll catch up with you guys all soon. This time tomorrow night, I'll probably be filming my feet pick. Just kidding. Just fucking around. I'll be filming my weekend preview. We'll have the teams out. I'll probably be finishing work around 9, 9:30, 10 o'clock if it's a stitch up. And I'll be smashing out a video this time tomorrow. You're a good man, Evan. I'll talk to you guys soon. Really appreciate all the involvement. Biggest live stream of the year so far. Thanks to everyone who was involved. Give it a thumbs up. Give it a little subscribe. And I'll talk to you all soon. Cheers, guys. Not the Patreon. Oh, boy. PTSD, mate. Catch you guys.